Hello, I'm Chris Bober. I represent one half of Team Bober with Nebraska Realty. Welcome back to our video series. We're going to have a review of the 2017 real estate statistics in the Omaha area, and maybe try to use those as a translation to what's going to happen this year and going on in the future. Our goal here in this is to educate and empower consumers out there so you make the best possible decisions when it comes to real estate. So today is another one in the series of trying to educate you about what's going on in the market. So, of course, we're going to get started here. This is an overall view of the last 4 years, what's going on in the real estate market. So, 2017 is represented in the bar graphs, all right? And as you saw, to finish out the year, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the previous 7 months were below the previous year's record high. 2016 was a record year across the board. Sales, volume, transactions, everything was way up. Last year, the volume and everything was way up, but we're starting to see some cracks in some of the statistics out there. So as you can see, the yellow to blue to red to the gray, it's pretty much gone up every year. This also does show the seasonality of the market. We're now in March, so you can see last year was a big year in March. We're gonna have another big year. It's actually crazy out there with the real estate market today. But you'll see a peak here in the next few months. That's why these stats are good to know. All right, so now we're talking about the annual residential closed transactions from last year and then year on from there. In 2014, there was 12,921 transactions. As it stands, last year we actually took a step back in the number of transactions sold. So overall, we were down a few in numbers, not that much, a couple hundred, down less than 1%. But the inventory consistently throughout the year was down by over 10%. So while the stats are down just 1%, the number of houses that were available are down 10%. So the ones that are out there are getting sold quicker, they're getting sold faster, and there's just less of them out there overall. All right, so some more statistics. This is what we call absorption rate. The absorption rate, the number that you see represented here is the number of months of inventory that are currently on the market and that were averaged to be on the market based upon the sales trends, okay? So let's look at the past. In 2014, the absorption rate was 3.4 months. That's kind of getting towards a balanced market. In Omaha, the market is, a lot of them are 200 and below, 250 and below, so they sell quicker, but that's still a balanced number. All of a sudden, average time's down, 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 to where in 2017, for the entire real estate market, it's less than 2 months of inventory we averaged right there. And if you look over here, we'll look at the price points where the absorption rates were. So the lowest one, which is less than 1 month of inventory, was the $100,000 to $250,000. Now we still see that right now. We're seeing that right now because there's even record low inventory into 2018. Those ones sell fast. 250 to 500, those are selling fast. 500, you look, as we start to push this out towards being 500 and up to $1 million, the absorption rates get back towards normal, okay? So while these are selling really fast, 6 months of average here is about what's a balanced market. If you go look at $1 million plus, those are almost 2 years of inventory that are out there. So just because the market's moving fast doesn't mean the luxury houses are selling fast either, all right? So this is a comparison from existing homes to new construction here, all right? So the new construction is down here. We did $540 million of sales in new construction last year as compared to $2.6 billion in the Omaha market. So you're seeing 5-6 times more sales for existing as there is for new construction. Still a major issue in our market is the lack of inventory because new construction hasn't gone up that much. You look at this, 443 million to 540 million comparatively is not the same rate that existing houses are being sold. We do need to find the ability to build more houses out there. All right, so existing versus new construction. This is new construction. The average new construction home in 2017 was $325,000. Compare that with, if you go back here a little bit and look at the average number of, well, I guess we're going to get to it, but that's a big number. That's way outside the average of the average sale price. The average sale price for regular houses, for existing houses, is $199,000. I mean, that's way down. That's a big difference in there. You see the affordability gap right here? We have a need for new construction houses, but they're really building above where most of the market is. So that's something we're doing. New construction went up 5%. Existing sales went up 5.5% from 2016 to 2017. Now, we talked about how high that market is. If you look at the $300-some thousand, that's where the new construction is. That's in the second biggest market. So the biggest demand is in this $100,000 to $250,000 range, but they're building here. That's where the problem lies. They're not building for the demand, they're building for here. I don't know, somebody's got to give somewhere, but the demand, almost 60% of the market is selling at $250,000 or below. And then add in the 12%, you're looking at 70% of the market that's $250,000 or below. Yet all they're building is average of 300 plus. So therein lies the problem that we're having in our market. Number of days on market, low inventory, high demand, high prices. They're selling quickly. All right. Here's the difference in this when you look at the market and how often the average days on market is. Under $100,000, bam, right? The average is 32 days, the median is 13. Now, what the average and median mean, if the median is way below the average, that means there's a whole bunch of them that are selling like in a day. They're pulling the average down. Even though the average is 32, some are selling longer, but a lot more are selling way down there. 100 to 250, the greatest demand, the median is 5 days. Average is 17, median is 5. And this is including all these houses that you've seen on the market for months and months. They're still being included in these stats. So that's why you're seeing a little bit of a skew here. You get to $250,000 to 500, maybe not quite luxury, but getting up there. The average days is 38 days on market. So someone calls me with a $300,000 house, a lot of times their expectation is, oh gosh, things are selling overnight. Well, actually they aren't. The average days on market is 38. Then you start getting into 500,000 plus, 58 days on market is the average, and a million plus goes into the months on average days on market. So from 2016, 8 days we shaved off the market time on average. That's pretty significant. That's indicative of the low market, and the average overall is less than 3 weeks. Again, most of them are right here, right? Most of them are right here. These ones take it out of the standard deviation of average, but most of the market is 250 and below. That's why this is moving so fast. All right. Again, average days on market. Here's a chart here that shows this. The market average is, in 2014, the average market time was 50 days. Right. That's about normal. In different markets they go way longer than that. In just 1, 2, 3 years, we have decreased the average market time from 50 to 25. That's basically shaving half the market time off the average listings. This is showing, again, another trend of low inventory. If we do see Nebraska Realty, we do beat the average in here. And again, the median, we talked about the difference between median and average. The medians are so much lower because there is a ton of them that are selling. The market time is just a day or two, okay? So, you're probably wondering, what the heck does this all mean? Statistics can show a lot of things, but how do they get translated into to apply to you, to how it affects you? So here's what we're kind of predicting. A lot of experts out there are predicting the same thing. Not much of a prediction, more of just an extrapolation of the facts. 2018 will be another banner year for real estate. We'll probably set records in volume again. Maybe the transactions will be down because volume average price goes up, but should have another great year, both on the selling side, which is indicative in average days on market, which is low, and on the buying side, really, because money is still way cheaper than it has been in the past. Okay, interest rates. You talk about something that might affect this market. Interest rates are projected to go up at least 0.5%. Not the biggest deal in the world, because we're still looking at going from 4.5% to 5%. The historical average is over 6%, so people are still lending cheaper than they ever have. All right, low inventory equals record high prices. Maybe not record high number of sales, but record high prices. It'll still continue to go up. How this translates to you, the consumer. Number one is it's going to be harder to buy a home. You're going to have to compete with a lot of other buyers out there. There's a bunch of buyers, and only a couple of listings out there. So this is where you really, really need the services of a good realtor, because to know how to go in there, how to get you in there first, how to write an offer that's strong, how not to put you in a position to lose and get outbid, is tough. But no matter what, you're going to be expected to pay record prices if you want to buy a home, buy or build a home, which is expensive too. The other thing is on the listing side, all right? Most people just assume that, wait, the market's so great, I'll just go sell my house on my own, or it's really easy. Well, yeah, it actually is somewhat easier these days to take a house, get an accepted contract on it. The hardest part is getting to close on time, okay? So taking it, putting the sign in the yard, it says sold a lot of times, but it doesn't sell till it closes. To get it under contract is short, but the work really starts when you put that property under contract, and you got to get everyone in line, all the inspections, all the appraisals, everything with the lender all the way to closing. That's where the skill comes in. And of course, that's why you need the services of a really good realtor. So if you want any more information, you can definitely give me a call. Here's my number right here. You can call me anytime, leave a message. My wife and I do work together. We're partners in this Team Bober thing, and we just want to go out and help people make great decisions when it comes to real estate. So if you are in the market to buy, sell, build, or invest in the Omaha or Iowa real estate market, call the pros at Team Bober, and we'll tackle the market for you. Thanks, and enjoy this beautiful weekend.